Hello everyone, welcome to Besant Technologies. If you're planning to build a career in data analytics or business intelligence, then the Power BI course is the most one of the demand skills in 2026. In this video, I'll explain everything about the Power BI course, including what you will learn, who can join, and after the completing the course, how the career opportunities will be there. What is Power BI? Power BI is a business intelligence and data visualization tool developed by Microsoft. It helps individuals and organizations turn raw data into interactive reports and dashboards for the decision making. If you're looking to start your career in data analytics or upgrading your skills, then Power BI is designed to you. Let's get started into the video.
Hopefully, as suggested in the first day, you all would have installed the Power BI desktop application onto your laptop or into your system. So, hoping that you would have done, I've just opened the Power BI application at my laptop, as you all can see in my screen. And I'm going to just show you today, as in the agenda, let me talk about that. The agenda for today is we are to know what are the different data sources that we can connect to, the most frequently used data sources, and once we get connected to them and how once we are done connecting, we are going to import the data from those data sources onto our Power BI. So let's just see how to do them one by one. And as I told you, I've opened a Power BI application at my laptop, as you all can see. Now, in here, we can either open a blank report or you can directly connect to any of these data sources. And of course, we do have some sample data you all can see here. And these, of course, the new ones you can you can connect to any of them. You can open a blank report or a blank file over here, Power BI file, using this option. If you have already saved one, say this is not the first time, you've already been using Power BI for quite some time, and if you've worked on any one and it's very much saved onto any of your local drives, you can just choose the option open, go to the exact path where your file is being saved, and you can open that file. But today, as we are just on to the day 2 of our Power BI sessions, I'm going to show you how to even get connected to few of such data sources. So I'm going here for the Power BI, the blank report. Okay, in here, you can see you have got few tabs, like you have your file. We were there at the file tab only for so long. And then you have your home tabs, I can say menus, your insert, modeling, view, optimize, and help. And all of these are given for us to just utilize. There are a good lot of Power BI options that we'll be using during the sessions. I'll be showing them. So it's all for our help only. And as you can see here, it's the blank canvas. It's called the canvas, blank canvas. And still now we have not connected to any data source. That's the reason this prompt is coming, which says add data to your report. And as you all can see here onto the right of this canvas, of course, we have just opened page 1. Okay, any blank file that you're opening up, by default, it will have some untitled. Of course, until you name them, it's going to be still untitled. And these you can create good lot of pages. Okay, as per our requirement, we are going to create. Here you're seeing page 1, then they are going to be named as page 1, page 2 by default. Of course, we can rename them. You do have your 2 layouts. Currently, we are in the desktop layout, and the mobile layout is also there. So either of the layout, we are going to create the report. It's going to be applicable. I mean, it's going to be viewed or seen onto that concerned the layouts. Either if your customer is using the mobile app, he may just you may design a mobile. You may design the report in the mobile layout, so it's easier for him to look. And if he is using your desktop, the one which is default here, you can create a report and he can, once you share him the report that you have created, he can view it onto his or her desktop. And yes, you can see here there are few panes. Okay, you have a visualization pane where you've got good lot of visuals that we are you can see over here, and each of the visuals that you have added, you can go ahead and format them. And currently there are no visuals, so the formatting options shows for the current page what all the colorings, the background color, the size, the size and all, you all can tweak it and format it, of course. And of course, the last is here the data. Once until unless we get connected to the data, we will get to see this option called get data. We'll just connect to it in a few moments. Of course, you have a filter pane also, which you can use to apply filters onto some specific visuals, or maybe to this entire page, or maybe our entire report. We can do that. And on the left hand side, as of now, we are seeing our report view, wherein the basic canvas view. Okay. You can even see the table view where your data that you would have imported, you can see it over here. And you have your model view where you can see the relationship that we build in between two or more tables. Okay, now getting on to the topic for today, which is connecting to different sources. I would have to come to get data. Okay, we can home tab, I can see get data. You have your options over here also. You can pick up any from here. You can choose here. And of course, here, like almost four areas are there. We can get connected to any of them. I mean, the options are available. You can avail any of them. Okay, first, if I open up that get data menu, you can see the whole bunch or the whole list of data sources that we can get connected to using Power BI. If you go to more option, yeah, we can, it's just say, they just say you name the data source we can get connected to. Okay, apart from the ones that you are seeing onto the ones, the basic ones like your Excel, CSV, PDF, web. Okay, likewise, you can connect to, like maybe you could even connect to your SharePoint portal. You can get connected to your SQL Server database and so on. So let's just see them one by one. So as of now, I'm going to get connected to our Excel data source. So I just chose option Excel workbook. Now I do have a file. Let's go there. Okay. Let's go into our the files. Say I want to get connected to this particular data set, which is an Excel workbook. I just select that and you get to open it. You choose the option open. Basically, we have just mentioned the file path, the exact location where the Excel file that I want to get connected to. I've just mentioned that path. And we just go in for next. We are onto our navigation, basically the Power Query area, the navigation part, wherein you can see the Excel workbook. It's in two formats, either in the tabular format, as in we all know that in Excel you can save data in two ways. Either it's in the most basic tabular format, as in something called ranges, nothing but a continuous collection of cells, rows and columns. Either it's in that format, okay, or in your tabular form, or in your specifically Excel table formats. So this is your basic tabular one, and the other one is your table. You can get connected to any of them. So I can just get connected to, and if I say load, it's going to get connected. If you open up this, there are two options. One is load and there is transform data. If I choose option load, the data will be directly loaded to my Power BI, as in it will be, I can use the data for my analysis. Like I can build charts, visuals, try to draw insights from the data. But as in first step, instead of going to load, we should always try and use the transform data, as in we should get connected to the Power Query editor, which will help in cleaning this data. We don't know how is all the data is very clean or not, in as in to say, I can see some null values available here. And the first record itself before the app layer, you can see some space over here. As in those are unwanted spaces. So we should be cleaning this up before even loading this to the Power BI area to do your further job on to analysis and further and building of your charts and visuals. Today, I'm just going to go ahead for the load. Next day, of course, we'll get to see what all of your cleaning parts will come over there. We will show more, we'll be on more of into Power Query editor, doing all the cleaning, like removing the unwanted spaces, maybe checking out on this null value, does it require any replacements, and so on. Okay, so as of now, I'm just loading it to the Power BI area. You can see it's getting loaded now. Almost 1046 rows have got loaded here. Now you don't see that add data, you just see build visuals over here, right? And under the data pane, I can see the table that we have. Your data won't be shown here, only the table with the columns under the table. And when you go to your table view, I can see the data, actual data. Six columns, 1046 rows. Yeah. Okay, this was the first way that we saw where how I can connect to Excel. The next in our list is connecting to SQL Server. Okay, I'll just go to home. Okay, we go to again that get data option. I choose the option SQL Server. I've got SQL Server installed onto my system. So let me open up that. Yeah, it's already open. You all can see it. And I've just opened the server properties to copy the server name. Just copied it. And now I'll go to this area which is saying server. And I do have a database created onto this server. Um, the database name is employee DB. So I'll just mention the same. Employee DB. And as of now, I'm not changing any of the options. I'm just going directly for the next option, next button here. But then you can see two options which says about connectivity mode, import and direct query. We will surely be coming up to this section after we complete with the basic connecting to the data sources. Once we're done with that, I'll come to this area. So next, let's get connecting. Okay, and I can see onto that server, I can see the table that has got created. It was already available. You can see onto this database, I have got a table which says this DBO employees. You can see here, I've already created one and I've inserted few records, 3 records, and even gone for the select query. You can see those 3 rows that you can that's available or very much part of our table. You can see it over there. And I am able to see the data over here also. So let me just select this table and go in for load. Again, saying you will see two options, your load and transform data. Of course, I'm seeing some null. Maybe the phone number of the employee wasn't updated. If I want to update that, I should obviously go to the transform data where I can do the modifications. And as in the replacements I'm talking about. But as I suggested well, previously also, I'll be going with the load option, just directly connecting to my Power BI, as in loading this data to my Power BI. The data is getting loaded. It's taking some time to get loaded, but then yeah, successfully three rows have got loaded. I'll just do one thing just to differentiate between the two. I'll just put this as of now as SQL Server, just to denote the uh, data source that we are really got connected to. And this table, instead of being a stable one, and yes, you can see the data over here, the data that we just got imported, or the data that we have just extracted from the SQL Server database. It's very much in front of us. And the table one, I'll just mention it as Excel workbook instead of that original name. Okay, just to differentiate between the two. Okay. So next in the list is your CSV. Okay. Let me again go to get data. I'll move on to this option which says text or CSV. Text as in I could get connected to a notepad or .txt, or a CSV as in comma separated values. So let's go to the path where I have one. This choosing the option browse is going to open up our Windows Explorer as File Explorer, let me say. I'll go here. You can see one CSV over here. I just get connected to. I'll selected that. I'm selecting the option open. So here we have just mentioned the file path, the exact location of my CSV file stored or saved in my desktop or laptop. And I just say next. Yeah, you get to see the data over here. And I just say, see, options are there. Either again saying load transform data. Load is going to take you directly to the Power BI, and transform data is going to get you to the Power Query editor for your cleaning purpose. Because Power Query editor is nothing but an ETL tool, extract, transform, and load. And it's the best practice that anyone follows, wherein you have to clean the data even before going for the analysis or maybe building charts. It becomes very necessary because uncleaned data does result in erroneous insights. So it's always better to clean the data and then go ahead with the analysis. As in told earlier also, today load is the only option that I'm going ahead for. And 12 rows have got loaded, as you all can see here. And project new, that's the one, exact 12 rows have got loaded. We have got 12 months, and it's regarding a project. The project name is new, and onto that you have got 12 rows, as you all can see, 12 rows and 2 columns. Your first column is your month name, and then your amount, as in the revenue that is being generated in each of the months for this particular project. And as mentioned, I'm going to change it to CSV document. So let's move on. Okay, what about PDF? Adobe. Let's see that. Again, get data. I don't see PDF here, so I'll go to more. Okay, I don't get to see the PDF as a default option. Anyway, I'll just type in PDF. Yeah, I did pick up that, and now again pick up the go to the location and pick up the same. Maybe I'll come here. Okay, give me a moment, please. Yeah, that's the sample sales data. It has got almost 440 records are there in here. If I go for next, after the file path has been mentioned, you can see the data. It's again the table format or the PDF. Any of the options is fine. You can see here there are 2 pages. It specifically mentions it here. And if you go for specifically, you can go for a two separate pages. Instead of connecting to 2, I'll suggest you to go for the first one. Select that. And out of the 2, not going to Power Query Editor for any sort of cleaning. As in for today, I know I can see some errors here. I'm going to bypass that and just go in for load, because our agenda for today is just to get connected to the data sources. As I told you, 40 rows, I can see it over here. Maybe I might see some error. Oh, no, we are not seeing some errors. Good. And yes, 40 rows as I suggested. And I just change this name to PDF. Yeah. Okay, good enough. It's all about sample sales data across, I guess, 4 regions. Yeah, 5 regions. And the product that gets sold, who has sold it, as in sales representative, the product that's getting sold, what's the category of the products, units sold out, unit price, and the product of the 2 being your revenue, units into unit price. That's your 40 records. Yes, from our PDF. Okay, moving on. Next, I can see web. Web as in I can get connected to a web page and import the data from there. So today I have thought about getting connected to this, which is your ICC Team Rankings T20 ODI test. I do open that particular web page onto here to show you all. So you can see here it's ICC Men's ODI Cricket Team Rankings. You do have your Test Cricket Team ranking, now also T20 Cricket Team ranking. So I'll just get connected to this web page. So I'll copy the URL and come over to Power BI, Home, Get Data. You can see web just next after my CSV or notepad. That's your text. Okay, web. I have to paste in my URL and just going for next. Don't worry about the connection credentials. That's fine. We need not change anything over here. And all of these connections that are really happening, they are happening from the Power Query perspective. Of course, the connections on a from the basic level, granularity level, I can say it's happening from our Power BI application. The connections are being done from the Power BI files or Power BI applications. Now that's my first table here. I can see a few HTML tables, suggested tables, and some text as well. Let's see the first one. It says table 01, wherein this 5 rows, I think it's the first one. Yeah, it's your ODI cricket team ranking. Yeah, the values are also matching. I could go for the second table, which is your test cricket team. Yeah. Or maybe the third. Okay. I can pick up. It's your T20 cricket team ranking. So let's go in for the third one, which is your T20 cricket team ranking, where in India, England is at the first position with points and your ratings you can see. Let's pick up this, select, go in for the checkpoint, and then again, as of now, I'll go for load only. The connection is getting established. So let's just wait a while. Yeah, 5 rows. Yeah, that's my T20 team ranking. Those 5 rows from that web page, we have got it successfully extracted onto our Power BI. Okay, so 5 different sources we have seen so far. Of course, one more is left, which is your folder data. Now, it may happen that we are being given a folder or we have been given a project folder. The link is being given to us. And in that folder, similar files are being kept. Like say, for example, around say 12 files, one for 1 month, one for each month. So previous year sales data, like monthly sales data, 12 files are given to you. All of them may be your XLS, that is your Excel workbooks or CSVs. Either of them could be available there. Now, how we are going to get connected to the folder and get the combined data from all of those multiple CSVs or your Excel files, basically the multiple files being kept at the folder, how we're going to get connected to and extract the data. As in, I should be able to use the combined data onto our application. So how to do that? Okay, I'll go to home again, get data. I'll pick up the option more. Okay, as of now, I don't see the folder in here. So I'll just type in the option folder. Yeah, it gives me my folder. So yeah. Okay, here I am to mention the folder path. Now I could browse it also, or even more. Let me go to that concerned folder. Like here, I am picking up this. We have got 5 CSVs in this particular folder and around 10 records in each, 5 to 10 records in each. It's 12 records over here. So 5 projects, monthly revenue is being mentioned. Okay, there's 5 CSV. So I'll just copy this path, folder path, and come over here and paste the same. And then we'll go to the option next. Yeah, I can see all the files here and I do see them, their extension, file name, their content, when was it last accessed, like today. No, it's not today, only the first one is just open today. Okay, the whole of it, even the file paths, every other details about each of those 5 files is given. Now, since it's a CSV, of course, we do have your transform and load. I'm not saying that. We could go for combine, which will really get connected to Power Query and it will show me those all the records from those 5 files. Or as of now, as I told you, I just go for load. Let's see how it looks like. maybe it would have just no, let's see. I guess it has picked up the first file only. No, yeah. It didn't even pick up the first file. It had just gone for my just 5 records that we saw there. So I don't want to see this. So I'll just do one small change. When I'll go to the Power Query editor to get that combined data and then load it to my Power BI area. So, okay, you do have the option. Let me pick up that again. It's already there in the recent options. Okay, I'll go for the option combine. So it's combining, the process is going on. Yeah, it shows me the content from the first file. There are 5 files, right? Just picked up in random. My first file is this alpha file. Okay, and it's just showing me the records from that file. I'll just say go ahead and come as of now. I'll go for transform data. It should open the Power Query editor window for me. Yeah. I am seeing that it has just come up with those 5 files, but then no worries. I can extract the data from here. Okay, so let's see that, how to do it. I'll pick up these, like of all of these columns, like around 8 columns are there. What is the 2 columns that are very much important to me is these 2. So I'll remove the rest. I go for remove other columns, and my data is over here in the binary format. Now what I'll do here is I would have to extract that data. It's very similar to you're being provided a zip file, like your files, if there are multiple files and the data that is being shared is really huge. We tend to zip that, as in we tend to compress those files into a zip folder and we provide that. That zip file, in order to see that original data, exact data, we would have to unzip it, as in we would have to extract those files. So same procedure or the same process what we're going to follow here. I'll come to add column, custom column. I'm going to add a new column, write a small Power Query code which says CSV document. Open up, it's a CSV, right? And the source, which is basically the content over here. And I say, okay, that's the original data. Okay, you can click and see on one. That's my data. Okay, anyway, I'll go back as of now. Okay, I see this double-ended arrow, right? Let me expand it and come up with just say, okay, whatever is there, let's just see it. Okay. I have successfully extracted the data, but there is something that needs to be checked in over here. And I'll do one small thing. Let me remove this. Okay, 1 second, give me. I'll as of now, I won't use this original column name as prefix. My original column name is custom. So the new column comes up as custom.column1, custom.column2. So let me uncheck that and say, okay. I got the column names good. I might just go ahead and remove this column. That's not needed anymore because I've got that original data. Only one thing that needs to be done over here is I need to get rid of this particular one which says month and number, month and amount. But before that, if you ask me, yeah, I will go ahead and filter it out because I don't need them. So yeah, I'll uncheck that month, say okay. And now you don't see that month and amount, that rows coming up is exact 49 rows from 5 files, 5 CSV files. I can see here there are 5 CSV files. Okay. I would just rename them to month and amount, and we'd also go for a data type change. For the first one, it's your month number, so whole number is the option for us. And amount, I'll put it a fixed decimal number, which is nothing but currency in Power Query Editor. So I'll put up that, and yes, now I would have to load it. Now, since I've got that entire data, this maybe I could rename it as so-called file source. I could do that, and I'll go ahead here and do the changes here itself. I can do it. Name to file source. Yeah. Once done, I'll go to the home tab over here in the Power Query Editor, close and apply. Now, close and apply is nothing but I'm going to close the Power Query Editor, this particular window, and whatever changes that we are seeing over here, I'm going to load that changes, like as in I'm going to load the cleaned data onto my Power BI. We'll see more of this in the upcoming classes. Yeah. So in that CSV, basically it was the folder that we got connected. Now I have got all of my 49 rows here from the folder. So I'll just rename it to folder here. And this CSV2 is of course not needed. I will just go ahead and we can delete it. Delete from the model. So we have seen how to get connected to 6 different data sources here. Okay, so we have just seen all of these 6. Now what is left out? Sometime back when we were connecting to the SQL server, I remember mentioning you, there's a small option over there, like a radio button, which said connectivity mode, either import or your direct query. Okay. So what are those? Let's just see them. Here, basically 3 types of data connectivity, the modes. First one is your import mode, wherein the data is loaded to the Power BI in-memory engine, which is Vertipack. Vertipack is nothing but your, as it's mentioned here, it's your in-memory columnar storage engine. That's the engine actually compresses the data for faster query performance and efficient memory usage. So basically, your data is loaded to the engine. You can see the data. Now, all of these 6 data sources that we got connected to, all of them have really got connected using this import mode only. The basic default connectivity the mode is your import. Almost every other data source does support that. Few of them do have that other option also, that the query, direct query. You would have seen that in your SQL server while connecting to that. Okay, now in short, if I want to say it in a layman language, I can say the data, actual data, or let me say more specific, a copy of that original data is being brought or extracted into my Power BI. And since I'm saying the copy of the data gets extracted onto the Power BI, I am able to see that actual data. Okay, that's the default mode. Okay, and refreshes for the import mode, it actually requires a scheduled refresh. Okay, you can refresh it, the data, if there is some changes maybe to the data itself, like some new data or modifications to the existing one, or even if you could like if there is some new tables are being introduced or being added, like something like a schema. Schema is there's a change in the schema. You could refresh any of this, either your only the data, or maybe only the schema, or maybe both your schema and your data. You can do it, but then you could schedule it. The refresh that I was mentioning, these three only. Okay. And refreshes, of course, you could go in for schedule refresh. Ad hoc refresh is something you, as a developer, you could go in for a refresh these options. You could avail any of these options as per the requirement. It's going to get refreshed. But as in for schedule refresh, you can go in for. And we do know when we are going for schedule refresh means we are talking this in connection with our Power BI service, the online service. There are two accounts, or two types of accounts, I can say. One is Pro and this Premium. Premium comes up with upgraded advantages. Uh, and with Pro account, the import mode, you can do up to 8 per day, like 8 refreshes per day. And with premium account, you can go up till 48 refreshes in a single day. And what's the pros, as in the best part? Very fast performance, because in memory queries, there is no restrictions on the DAX or your Power Query transformation, like your M language, which is part of my Power Query, or the DAX, data analysis expressions. Either of the language, there's no restriction, and it can combine multiple sources. Like we have seen it now. And the console here, data can become stale between refreshes. Yeah, many of the times when I am trying to connect to an older data, and if there is any, and it will always ask me for refreshing the data. Okay, it will always prompt me. The disadvantage, one more disadvantage you can see is your file size limits. For a pro account, you just have got 1 GB limit file size, but with premium, yes, you can go up till 10 GB. And refreshes can be resource intensive, like very much resource dependent. Refreshes can be. That's your import mode. What about direct query mode? Now, direct query, no data stored in Power BI. Like no data will be brought into the Power BI. Queries are sent directly to the source database. As in, the schema of that data has been brought to Power BI, not that original data. Unlike my import mode, wherein I get to see the copy of the data, in direct query, I don't get to see the copy of the data. Okay. What about the refresh? It's real time, no schedule needed, because the data is with the data source only, right? So you don't need any refresh. It's almost real time. Pros is always up to date data. And yes, it handles massive data sets without importing. Data security is there because the data is always with the source. But the disadvantage is slower visuals. Depending upon the source performance, my report performance is going to get slower at times, right? And in terms of your functions, whether your M functions or your DAX functions, there is a limited access. Especially with the DAX, you won't be able to write the time intelligence functions, which actually is the core of our DAX library. Time intelligence functions, I do refer to the date and time calculations. Okay. And heavy load on the source systems, because we are actually querying that data source. So using the direct query mode, so heavy load is definitely there. What about the live connection? Now it connects to the existing analysis services model or published Power BI dataset. Now, published Power BI dataset is nothing but the Power BI semantic models. Now, semantic model is nothing but a whole package. It does have your data, the data model, When I say data model, then obviously the tables that are involved in the data model, their relationships, each and every table, how many columns are there, what's the data type of that column, and so on. So that whole package is your semantic model, and this is very much available onto our, the moment we do publish our Power BI reports from the desktop to our Power BI service, it gets loaded as two objects. One is your report, the live interactive report, and another is your semantic model, which is the core of our report. So you could get connected to that. That's what is your live connection. And data refresh depends on the connected data set or model. And the pros, the best part is centralized governance and consistency is there. Shared semantic models across reports, yes, you can share them. Real-time sync with the source data set. But cons is you cannot apply any Power Query or any modeling at the report level. And of course, you cannot add any new calculated tables or columns. And also it's being dependent on the data set performance and your permissions. Okay, a quick comparison. We all can read it here. Storage, it's a in memory. This is source DB and it's a semantic model. Refresh, it's a schedule one. It's no need. It's a real time. Live depends on the source. In case of your, it's best for faster dashboards. The import is best for faster dashboards, smaller, medium data sets, small and medium. DirectQuery is best for your large data sets at real-time needs. Your live connection is for your this enterprise-wide consistency. Limitation, size limits. Slower, DirectQuery is slower, limited DAX and DB load. Live is no data, no local data modeling depending on the data set. Yeah, moving on. What about the data refresh? We did talk about this, but then just a bit more on it. Data set refresh really will be refreshes, reloads the data from original sources into the Power BI data sets. Applies transformations defined in Power Query. It can be scheduled, Pro having 8 per day, Premium 48 per day. And model refresh refreshes the calculated columns, measures, relationships inside the data set, happens automatically when the data set is refreshed. The data model that we are really referring here, tile refresh. It updates visuals on dashboards every 15 minutes, ensures tiles reflect the latest dataset state, and report refresh refreshes visuals when a user opens or interacts with the report. And queries the dataset already located in my Power BI service. And yes, the refresh behavior, I can get to see them. With the import mode, it's your reloaded data is reloaded to memory on schedule. With the direct query, it's always query source in real time, no schedule needed, no schedule refresh needed. And the live connection, since it depends on the source, refresh depends on analysis services or connected data set. And for all the refreshes that are scheduled or a ad hoc one that is on demand, you would require on-premise, that is, you would require a Power BI gateway for enabling the schedule refresh. Okay. And if you see this limits, we have already mentioned. Performance frequent refreshes can strain the source system, balance freshness with efficiency, and the Power BI can alert you if a schedule refresh fades. Okay, so that's it for the day. We are done with connecting the different connectivity modes and your data refresh basics. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. To know more about the course, check into the below description.